Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It's the Shower Door Professionals live stream here on Facebook. If you're watching there on the page, feel free to post your comments there in the chat. And if you've got any questions, we can always just answer them here in the call. So excited tonight to have some really special guests. These guys don't really require any introduction. Y'all know who they are, but we'll just go ahead and introduce them anyway. Uh, we've got Paul Daniels. You know him. He's been around for a long, long time. Boy, I remember when I was a kid, I used to see Paul around. And Danny Donahue, probably not quite as uh,
Old. I say it.
Worldly.
but equally as famous in the glass industry, especially here in the shower door segment. So it's awesome to have a couple of real OGs from the shower door biz, man, on the call tonight. This is really what the call is all about. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and turn the call over to these guys from FHC. Tell us a little bit about what's going on over there. These guys are like movers and shakers. There's always something new happening, so we're pretty excited to hear what's going on there. And if you've got any questions, feel free to post those in the chat. We'll be checking on that, and I'm sure we'll circle around to some Q&A later in the call. But I want to go ahead and turn it over. Paul, do you want to start?
All righty. Okay, I'll take it over. We're going to go through our design and build program for you today and show you how you can sign up for a free use of the program for 30 days if you want to take a look at it. But before we start, I want to spend just a couple of minutes, and we'll go through the opening again, me and Danny, and talk a little bit about what's happening at FHC. FHC really is a national company. We now have 4 locations around the country. We opened up in Dallas, Texas, a couple of months ago. We were in Kent, Washington, as well as over 100,000 square foot facility in Columbia, South Carolina, as well as our manufacturing and distribution out here in the West Coast in Southgate. This is our new campus, which we're going to talk about in a minute. We just moved into that about 2 weeks ago. This is a building, an old Firestone manufacturing facility that we took over and remodeled the whole place. Our manufacturing has been in here for the last 2 years. We had about half of this building. Now we have control of the entire campus, not just the building, but all these back buildings, other buildings in the back here. And right now we're located in this building on here with our corporate distribution and warehousing on the first floor, and all of our manufacturing, most of the manufacturing on the second floor. We do have some of that still down on the first floor. That's enabled us to do a lot of things. For the new year, one thing we kicked off at the beginning of the year, which I hope you're all familiar with, is our new shower hardware program. FHC hasn't been sitting around. For the last 4, 5, or 6 months, we've been working on our vendors, our supply chain, getting product into the U.S. market, keeping our pricing as low as possible. And we launched our new shower hardware program as of January, which brought the pricing down dramatically in the last couple of months. We're still holding that right now. We don't have much to say about tariffs, but what we can say is we think that FHC is in the best position to weather any storm of tariffs or anything else with product coming into the marketplace because of some of the things we've done over the last 6 months. Also, we've started something we think is brand new and exciting for the industry, which is our FHC product certification program. We put in a whole new testing facility at our new campus and manufacturing. We're testing all of our products, and they'll have a stamp of a product certified to FHC standards or to industry standards or ASTM or whatever standards might be needed. Right now, Danny is testing every one of our different hinges, pivots, wall mount, glass to glass, and our certification program will be certify everything for 100,000 cycles. Although, Danny, how many cycles have we put on the hinge we just took off the testing machine?
Well, we ran it for the initial 100,000 and we said everything's perfect. It's great. No slippage, no problems. Let's see what happens. And we ran it for 3 months and we did 1 million cycles on the shower door. there was a maximum width of 36 inches, and it went to 110 pounds. It was using our Venice hinges, and it was half-inch glass. We made it the widest, heaviest door we could do, and we did it for 1 million cycles. And it did not even, its overall movement was less than a 32nd of an inch.
Okay. So that's all of our products will be tested. And if you have large projects like hotels and things like that, we can actually do job-specific testing. We've done that now for a couple of our jobs in Las Vegas. For the big jobs, we'll set up the exact shower that's being made in that hotel or condo, and then run whatever cycles we need to, 100,000, 50,000, whatever they want us to certify for the project. And we're also in the process, too, of testing it with all the different glass treatments and things like that they can put on glass now, which we think is part of the problem that we've had with some of the product in the marketplace, not ours, but stuff all over the place with slippage. So we think it's something we've come up with a whole new gasket system. Danny's going to be talking about this a little bit later, but all of our products are going to have this new gasket, which is permanently installed in the hinge. The only thing you have to change is the screws. There's not 2 or 3 different gaskets you have to change out when there's different thicknesses of glass. So Danny will be bringing you up to date on what that is. Also, we hope you have all of our catalogs. We have 4 published catalogs out in the market right now. We are in the process of updating our architectural hardware book. So I think we just ran out of them. So within about the next 20 to 30 days, we'll have those back in stock. And that'll be a total update. So you might want to make sure you get a hold of the new one. Also, a lot of people don't understand we now have a full line of catalogs on our web. They're not published catalogs, but they're full catalogs on the web for our new architectural aluminum handrail system, all of our sealants, tools, machinery, insulated glass products we now carry, mirror products, all of our shower doors, of course, windscreens, all the different products that we have. And these catalogs can be operated just like full catalogs. You open up the page, it's a whole full catalog. It just hasn't gone to press yet. So those are available now for everyone. And of course, our testing system is not just a couple of testing machines. We just invested a lot of money in a full testing equipment for both exterior doors, interior doors, as well as the shower hardware products. This is a full test wall, they call it. We can put one job or several jobs on here. This can do water testing, water pressure, wind, all sorts of testing besides just water and cycle testing. It's a computer driven. And this is also set up so we can be UL certified, meaning we can do a test here and then UL will come in and certify it. And we're working on becoming totally UL certified so we can certify our own testing. So this is something we're adding. And as I mentioned, all of our products, when you talk to your customers or architects or big hotel jobs, you can say the products that I carry are tested and certified by the manufacturer to 100,000 cycles. And if you need further testing, we can provide that for you as well. So we also offer a full line of high quality installer-friendly products, not just the shower hardware stuff, but short lead times on all of our different aluminum doors, standard doors, handrail systems, and also backed by technical support like Danny Donahue and his group. We do shop drawings, engineering, like I said, all types of testing will be done now in our own facility, which, by the way, can shorten your lead times. You might have a job with aluminum doors or something and they need something tested. Some of these certification labs can take 6 months to do a test and get a test back to you, where FHC is going to be able to do that much, much quicker right in our own premises. And again, there's our new campus. This is our new marketing department that we just moved into. Was it yesterday, Danny?
Yeah, it was literally Monday, yeah.
So now the whole company is in one place, but this is our facility. It's over 600,000 square feet under roof. People don't realize what we put in behind the products that we sell. You can walk into our will call from the side door, the front door, and into our lobby. I'm just going to flip through this quickly. See our conference room. This is our new, we call it our training, but it's really for the industry. This is a room can fit about 150 to 200 people. We're having the California Glass Association is going to have their meeting here this Thursday evening, and people will be able to take a tour of our facility. There's a big screen that pulls down, and it's really a facility that we're going to open up to the whole industry. So we can have architects come in here, have meetings, Construction Specification Institute, NGA, all sorts of union people, that'll be going to be able to take advantage of this for meetings and training and things like that. So it's going to help the whole industry. And of course, our will call is set up just like it's actually bigger than any trade show that we've set up for us. We have all of our products right here when you walk in the front door. We actually put a testing machine right in the lobby. And this is one of Danny's doors. Why don't you explain that, Danny?
Well, yeah, it's just this one happens to be a 3/8 door, and it's using our Glendale series hinges, and it is being open and closed continuously, and it gives someone who walks into our will call department an idea of what we're doing further in our official testing area. It's a mock-up, but it is full size, it's operational, and it is testing these hinges as we speak. So it kind of puts it on display for the user to see.
Okay. Of course, we have a full will call, and every product that we have is displayed. Here's our shower door area. We can walk in, you can see our sliding shower doors, our regular sliding shower doors. All of our hardware is on display in functional displays. So again, if you ever have an architect or a contractor, a builder, a customer that you want to send in to see any of our products, they're all welcome to come in. This is staffed, by the way, 6 days a week by technical and sales people. So if you walk in with a roll of drawings on your shoulder, or you have shop drawings you want to show us, or you want to review a project, we have somebody there that can sit down and go over it with you at any time. So that's something we're excited about. And again, it's really something for the whole industry that they can share all the different products that FHC has and show their customers. And of course, we have our manufacturing. I'll just skip through real quick, but we are a true manufacturer. We don't just buy stuff and put it in a box. We're a prime manufacturer and make all these different types of bolts and pieces and parts for all these parts. We have our own painting, bending, painting, welding, everything that goes into manufacturing our products. Alrighty. So I've kind of finished my little speech. So we are now open in full capacity. Our warehouse now is about 3 times the size that it was. So our inventory level is much greater than it's been. So we think we can continue to service our customers with a high level of inventory and keep up with the needs as our company grows. Alrighty. Okay, Danny, and I'm going to switch over now to your program.
Oh, I like how you call it my program.
Can you see that on my screen now?
I'm looking at what looks like your PowerPoint or something, but I do. Yeah, I see something on your screen.
Okay, well, hold on a second. I think I have to stop sharing.
Okay.
And then start sharing again. So how do I do that?
Sharing is caring.
Right. Someone's got to do it. It's all about picking the right window, you know?
That's right.
Share. Now I want to share this one. Here we go.
All right, there you go.
Can you see it now?
Yeah.
I see it now. I 100% see it now.
Alrighty. Well,
Okay,
I'm going to operate as Danny directs me, so there might be a little gap between his
Hey,
and my fingers.
let me say something real quick before you move forward. Be
Please,
careful that you don't share anything that looks like people's email addresses or anything like that, because it'll get squashed by.
Okay, then the right thing to do here is, Paul, first things first, put your cursor in where it says search right next to jobs there, and just put a space in there. Nope, it's the search right next to jobs. Jobs is highlighted in blue.
Oh, right there?
Yes, just put a space, please. Space bar. It's going to make all the showers go away. No?
And if it doesn't?
Okay.
I mean, you're good as long as it's not like phone numbers or email addresses.
Yeah, you're not going to see anything else.
You're not going to.
All right.
Never mind that. Okay, well let's just
We
move.
can just go here real fast.
Cool. Okay, so no, I do want you to go back. So yeah, go back to the main screen. Close that over in the top right corner.
Which I can't see.
Not minimize. Close it. The X, please. Yeah. There you go. Thank you. Okay, so what we're looking at here, and I'm not going to spend too much time on the program. People who know the program know it. I do want to be respectful and show it, but I want to make sure that we get to the other things too. I'm really excited about the recessed gasket, but we will get to that. And I just want to tease it again one more quick time here. So what we're looking at is I'm sorry. No, okay. What we're looking at is a list of jobs that we've got saved on this particular database. And obviously, you can access your jobs by typing in that search box that Paul went into. If you type in the first couple of letters of like S or something, like anything at all, you'll find that it's going to allow you to be able to sort and find things. Is it not letting you type or something, Paul?
It is, but you're not telling me to type.
Okay, just
There you go.
hey, I love it. We've worked so long together, Paul. I expect you to read my mind like an old married couple or something like that, man.
Well, that scares me, Danny.
As it should. At any rate, it allows you to find the jobs that you're working on. Let's take a look at the at the menu on the left, and then we'll make a structure. So menu on the left, the first thing you're looking at is your jobs, and those are your active jobs you've got going on. Your order history, the next one down, that shows you the jobs that you have ordered through the system, which, by the way, our shower design program now allows for quoting our hardware and ordering our hardware directly from the program. So that will show you the orders that you've placed successfully. And the next one down is the jobs legacy. Those would be your old showers from the previous version of this program that is now, boy, the new version has been out 6 months. So, that really more applied when the transition was happening. And then customers, you can set up however many customers you wish to set up in your database. You'll find that when you make a shower in here, you do need to call it some sort of customer name. And then you can skip through the hardware portion. There's not really much interactive with you, the user, with that. That has more to do with me as the administrator. But when you get to glass, that's where it gets interesting, because that's where you can put in all of your pricing and all of your information. Go over to the pricing tab, top right there that we looked at. Not customer pricing, but pricing.
Nope.
Perfect. And then hit that drop down where it says show supplier. It's right below your mouse. It's a drop down. It's blank right now. You're looking for a drop down, not another tab. And it's the show supplier costs is what it says. It's right. There's a field right next to
you're
it.
there.
Yes.
You're hot.
Click in that field. Yes. Default glass supplier. Thank you. Now you'll see where you've got cost and you've got list price. You can go all the way through your glass and your processing costs, like notches, polish per inch, miter cost, all holes, all that kind of business. The cost per square foot, you put in your actual cost, and then you can put in your list price that you would like to sell it to your customer for. So that's kind of a nice feature to have all that glass pricing done. It's a very easy to use table, and it's a real benefit when you're assembling a whole quote that you want to email to your customer. Well, I think we can exit this area and go to the getting a job created area. And we're just going to run through and make a quick shower. So we'll go to the new button there, and this opens up where you're going to add your shower information. So for the job name, there you go, perfect. And then the one thing you do have to fill out is a customer name. You'll see it down there, right there. And Paul's just going to hit test. Actually, yeah, I don't think you're set up in there, Paul. So just type in test, and then we'll grab that first one that comes up. That's the one. And then all we've got to do, obviously we can put notes in and all this kinds of business, but what we're going to do is we're just going to make a shower. So you don't go down to the bottom left, you see where it says add shower, and you're going to hit that add shower button. That's add glass, that's add shower. I think you went to the add glass, so we'll want to close that one and go back to the one for the shower. Perfect. Now go to add shower. There we go. Now that's going to bring you to the screen that has been with this program since the start. And that's where you basically make a shower. The templates are shown here. and you can go ahead and hit use templates, and we'll make something just like a door and a panel in line. What you're looking at here now is just a method of picking out the template that you want. You can see you've got the two different types of doors. We've got swing style door hinges, and we've got sliding shower door applications. If you have a sliding one, if it's a single door, which way does it slide? If it's a hinge door, is it hinge left? Is it hinge right? Is it the infamous double doors?
Mhm.
So we'll just go back to something that looks like pretty easy to deal with here, a door and a panel in line probably.
Yep.
Or we'll let Paul. Anything's fine. Sure.
And I just want to jump in here real quick and just say it's probably sounds obvious, but if you're listening to this on the podcast, yeah, be aware that there's a lot of visual stuff going on here. Really want to encourage you to go watch the video because there's some neat stuff that you're gonna want to see here.
That is a very good point, and I will try to see if I can appeal to the non people who aren't watching.
It's tricky with something.
Try and use flowery language in some way. Okay. At any rate, so what we're looking at is the configuration we chose. You've got the blue square on the left that's a door, and you've got the one on the right that says that it's a fixed panel. So what we're going to do now is just assign the thing some dimensions. Just like every other glass sizing program, we got to put the data in there. So we'll put in a height of whatever Paul decides to put in.
Okay.
And let's throw an out of plumb condition on it too. Why don't we make the top lean out? Choose that first one that's out, the one above that. There you go. Now that shows me that the top leans out. You got the plumb line. You see the piece of glass being wider at the top, very clear there. So we'll assign it whatever figure Paul wants to put in there, 1/4 inch or something like that. And then you can hit OK, or you can tab out of it. I would tab from here. And then I get to the next screen, the next data set, which is going to ask for the full width of the opening. So put in, something wider than 28. Now it's asking, what do you want for your door width? And then it's going, I don't think we want
Danny, if you're walking around or moving, you keep kind of going out of range here where we can't hear you.
Oh, do I?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's.
You're breaking up a little here and there, not too bad.
Oh, okay. Well, I certainly don't want that to be the case. Yeah, we don't want 272 inches wide. Paul, can you please change that one down at the bottom? We want this thing to look like a real shower. So you're going to need to click on the 272 to get out of what you're in now. Or that's another way of doing it. Now tab again and go ahead and put the other height in there. And you'll see that once he puts the height in on this right-hand side, it's going to then produce a shower that is down at the bottom of the screen there. You see that you've got a completed shower down at the bottom of the screen. And the reason for that is because there's a pre-chosen part series that just populated that particular shower. And you make it your most popular one. Doesn't mean that that's what you have to use. It's just a placeholder for right now. So looking at this screen, going up toward the top left, the options are you put in your glass type. Is it 3/8 glass? Is it clear? Is it Starfire? Does it have any kind of a treatment on the glass? All that kind of stuff. Those are the choices you make from this screen here. Which glass thickness, what type of glass, maybe a glass treatment, all that kind of business. You can choose your supplier here. We've got just default supplier selected, which is where we want to be. So let's say that this is how we want it to be. Now we go to the hardware selector, which is the next tab over. Bingo. Now this is showing us what's being used on this shower. The hinge is being used on the left-hand side. The default hinge for the Venice series is the Ven F1, but you can choose any one of the hinges that are wall-mounted hinges that could be used on this application. Let's look at the part series first, Paul. Go directly above that, right in the center of the screen. It says part series. Yeah, and hit that drop down. You'll see we have all the different hinge series types, and they're all shown either with channel or with clamps. So you can choose either one or the other, depending on how you want to, of course, do your shower. And adjustments can be made to everything, no matter what series that you select. So we have right now the Venice with clamps. So that's fine. You can stay with that one. Go ahead and select that. Now, as you can see on the left there, we saw there are many other wall mount hinges we could use. And in the same way, there are many different clamps we can use. Now, it's showing you, it's a really nice feature. It shows you that the clamps are being used on the wall and on the floor. If you look in the middle of the screen, there you go. Those clamps are being used on the wall and on the floor. Now, if I wanted U-channel at the base of these, at the base of this panel, but I do want clamps on the wall, I would simply just deselect the floor that it shows there for the clamps, go to the box, there you go, and then go to the floor and hit the drop down. You want to hit the drop down first, and then select the SUCD38. And bingo, it puts the piece of U-channel at the base and it's got the clamps on the wall. So you can make changes like that. And of course, whatever handle you want to use, if you go to the top right there, Paul, you'll see the PHR 8x8 is there, but you hit that drop down, all the different handles are available to you. And you can put seals down below there on there, assign whatever seals you want to use. So they appear on the page so that the person brings them with them. So just what you kind of expect to see, really. Now, let's go to the next tab. And really, this is kind of the last tab that most people work on, and that is a positioning tab. Now, this tab allows you to move things if you wish to move them. You could move the hinges up and down. You can move the clamps where you want. You can move the handle to a different inset or whatever you'd like to do. You can add hardware. If you wanted to put a towel bar on that little fixed panel, you've got a little part, you've got a green plus sign that says add part. Go ahead and you select it. You can go in the search and put in TBR 18. And there you go. It's got single side, it's got back to back, it's got the colors. Just choose one, doesn't matter which. And it would allow you to put that onto the panel. Let's go ahead and do it. Click on that. That's not going to help you there. That little checkbox means that it's been auto-generated, but click on where it says TBR, double click that. We're on the TBR, yep, double click it, and you'll see another box appear on the right to position it. Now you say, where do you want it to go? Go to the panel, would be panel number 2. To the edge, just say the right edge. And let's position it to align with the handle. Say position, hit the drop down, align to another fitting, and find the handle. Bingo, there you go. And then you can close it. And we positioned the towel bar on there. Just added a piece of hardware. Now the last screen is a cutouts screen, and you can add random cutouts if you need to for any given reason. Why don't we close this and look at the reports, and then we can wrap up on this particular part. So go to the top right and close that where it says okay. Yep. Go ahead and hit save. And so once you've got this saved, it brings you back to that original page. Now here we can do a number of things. Oh, we didn't give it a color, did we, Paul? Can you go back to edit right there right at the top kind of center where it says edit? There you go. And then go to design down below where that's associated to the shower, like bottom middle, it says design. There you go. And let's go to the hardware selector tab once that opens up, and then we're going to choose a color to put on it. I don't think we chose a color. Go to the next tab at the top, hardware selector. Yeah. Perfect. And let's just, down below where it says part series, that we were looking at the different part series in the top center, it says part finish, and you can just hit that drop down and select, one of the more common finishes, whatever it may be. Perfect. Now we can quote it. So let's go ahead and okay this, and we'll go back to the page where we can actually quote the shower. Now hit save on this, and now here we go. We've got the request quote page. And what you're looking at here is we're going to make this request for quote, and go ahead and hit it now, Paul. And I hope you have that session open on the FHC site.
Yep.
You're the man. So it just assigned us a quote number there. Quote number, I cannot read that for the life of me, no way in the world. But it says quote number such and such is here. And basically, it made a call to our system. Our system says this is who the customer is, and it returns the pricing for the quote. Now you can take and convert that quote to an order, show them the process of that. It's super quick. You simply hit convert now. You could put in your PO number if you want to, different notes if you want to. And now it's saying, okay, this is the order. Do you want to send it to FHC? You say, yep, I want to send now. And then as a last chance, it says, to continue to checkout, you need to go to the checkout now box. This is your last thing. And watch what happens here. It's going to open up in our FHC website, and it's going to be in his cart that he's got ready to go on our website.
Wow.
So
Okay, so now you're in the FHC website. So just like placing any other order, you can add or subtract products. You can add it to something else. You can save it in a your own shopping cart to come back to it later, whatever you want to do. Or you can hit just proceed to checkout, and it'll anything that you could do in the website you can do now. But you have to make sure that you're logged into the FHC website on your computer before you start using the program. Also, this is coming right into our database, so you're getting exact pricing. Everything's current as far as is there stock, no stock, what's the actual cost. Everything is exactly as it is, the way you coded in the computer. So you're going to get your pricing and know everything that's here.
hey, Paul, can you change your screen to the CRL screen? Because we're still looking at the shower designer screen. So when it opened, when it went to our website,
Bite your lip, Danny, twice.
I'm sorry?
I won't tell you why, but you'll know later on. Okay. Alrighty, let me get rid of this then. I think I'm going to have to go back to Zoom. Let me just do this. And do this. And do this.
So now, Danny, I've worked in this program a little bit. I did I got a free trial and messed around, and it's pretty cool. I didn't realize that. So what you're saying is, if you're logged into your account at the time that you do that, place that order, rather than just placing the order, it puts it in your cart. So then you can go to your cart and actually make adjustments there.
Exactly, which is what just got pulled up right now. So it opens in our database, in our FHC world, and yes, you are in your cart. You can add, remove, change shipping. You can do anything you want to do to that order that you would normally do when you're in your FHC cart.
Right. And if you request a quote, it'll email you a copy of that quote from the FHC site. And you'll have a record of it there if you took that quote number from the program and typed it right into your FHC, or the next time you want to go into our program to see if the quote's still current, or you want to make turn into an order, that quote and everything is going to be sitting right in our website, right in your account.
That's cool. I didn't know that part. That's really cool.
Yep, that's the latest thing. We just attached it. So
then I think maybe now would be a good time to look at the other part.
Alrighty. Any questions on the program?
Fair question.
I'll bring it back to that. The key is it's easy to use. Everything's loaded in there for you. Danny didn't go over. You can also put in percentage of increase for your orders and things like that. If you want to put a markup in, you can set your different markups for different customers. It'll do that automatically. It creates a quote sheet that you can send out to your customers, either with a line drawing or a fancy printout. If you want to look at it that way, it gives you all your glass sizes that you can send right to your glass fabricator. It gives you a nice little quote package that you can send out to your customer.
And you can export DXF files, send to your tempering company if they choose to use those kinds of files as well. I mean, there's a lot of things that we didn't go over, but.
Now, it only does the quoting part. It doesn't do actually any invoicing, correct?
Right. It's not going to invoice an order for you with your customer. It does the quoting, and it can create an order through FHC. And actually, you can take your glass which is separate, and send the order to your glass company, certainly directly from the program.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So we're going to get now to what I've kind of been waiting for the whole time. And that is we a while back, we decided we were going to make a change. The only thing that I find is wrong with shower door hinges, they all seem to be very similar to one another. The thing I find to be the troublesome factor is the gasket material. It seems like slipping shower doors seems to be just about the only problem you'll have with a frameless shower door. And we decided as a company that we are going to do better, and we're going to make it a better situation for our users and make their lives easier and make it one less thing you have to worry about. And the way that we've done that is we have recessed all of our hinges to accept a factory bonded EPDM material gasket that just works better and is in place and will not squeeze out. It's not going to come out of adjustment. It is embedded in place, and the material is just a better material. It's funny. I had my cell phone here, and I had a silicone case, and if I put it on glass, there's no sliding it. There's no possible way it's going to slide. It's like it's stuck to the glass. And I thought to myself, why is it that we don't use a gasket material that's more like this? And we started looking into it. And actually, we do use a silicone material in our all glass railings for the bonding, and it's an amazing bonding component. So what we did is we looked into it, and we found out that there's another material called EPDM. Has many of the same attributes of silicone, but it has better longevity and holds up a little bit better and has better durometer. Holds up better. And you can see, I mean, if you take the gasket you get with just about any shower, put it on a piece of glass and try and slide it, that's going to slide right along. You take these gaskets that we have out of EPDM, you put it on there, it's going to stick like my silicone phone case. So and more importantly, it's been tested, and it is an outstanding material that is being used here. So what you're getting is just a case of the gasket is not going to be the component that allows your glass to slide. It can't move. It's not going to go anywhere. And again, 1 million cycle testing tells us that glass did not come out of adjustment at all. The internal components of the hinge were completely destroyed, but clamping on the glass, it opened and closed 1 million times. So this is extremely exciting for us. It is a patent pending program that we have here, a patent pending product, I meant to say. And of course, one must say, well, heck, Portals has been gluing their gasket in for a long time. And yeah, they have been. So I was very surprised when I did a thorough patent search and found nothing on it. So we are patenting this process. It's already in process, and it's exciting. And instead of having loose gaskets in the little bag that's in your hinge, and they're malformed and don't want to sit anywhere near flat on the glass or anything like that, the gaskets are all in place. You will not see any gaskets in there. What you will see are packages of screws, and they'll say 3/8 glass and they'll say 1/2 inch glass, and you'll use the correct thickness of right length screw with the correct thickness of glass. And not only are we doing this is one thing, but all of our clamps, all of our fixed panel clamps, the 2x2s, the 90s, the neo angles, the sleeve over clamps, we are adhering all those clear gaskets in place as well. Because when you get a set of clamps, it just has 2 clear gaskets, right? That's the way it is. Why aren't they put in place? Why do we have to monkey around with them with glass in place, and we're using a flat knife trying to straighten them out in there, and then you still have to end up trimming? It's ridiculous. It's insane. We're making it easier for the user, for the installer. The end user will never know that we just did this. You guys will know. It's the customers. It's our customers who know that we did this. And as you can see here, Paul is now showing you our new templates. We have to have new templates that are going to indicate what this is. It's a next-gen shower hinge, and it tells the user, hey, if you get loose gaskets, this is what you do. And if your gaskets are recessed, because there's going to be a crossover period, right? It doesn't change. It's not like turning a water, the spout on and off. So that's a lot to say. Does anyone have any questions?
So are these going to require a different cutout than the old
Nope.
one?
Everything's exactly the same. And people may ask the question, "Oh, well, I'm sure then that the price is going to go up now. You know, it's going to be no, it's the same price. It's the same components. The only thing we've done is we've changed and made a machine mill out, dado to accept the gas, and that's in the grand scheme nothing. So we're able to maintain our same low price.
Okay, so one of the keys to this is, again, you don't have 2 or 3 gaskets to fall out of the package, or you put the wrong gasket in and you put the door up and it won't stay in place because you didn't put the heavier gasket in. You won't have any of those issues. It's not going to displace itself. So you're always going to have 100% of your gasket in contact with the glass. That's always a big problem when things start to squirt out. You actually lose 10% or 20% of your holding power just because the gasket isn't in the right position. So this is going to make sure the gasket's in the right position because that's been hollowed out so they can put the gasket right in there. And also you see that this gasket material on the top is rough. That roughness gives it better grip, more little suction onto the glass. And we think will be one of the real solutions in what we call the next generation product.
Is this?
Sorry, go ahead, Brian.
I was just going to ask, is this new feature design going to be available in all different hinges? Like I use mostly offset plate hinges. Is it going to be available in those as well as full back plate?
It is available for every single hinge that we produce. Pivot
Okay. Hinges, glass to glass.
Yep.
Pivot. Okay.
All the different, adjustable, they'll all have it. Now, the one thing that Danny did mention that I just want to make sure is that this is going to be a running change. So we can't throw away all the stock we have now. So as these hinges come in, and they're coming in now, and you're going to see that probably the most popular hinges will be the first ones you'll see show up with this new design because they're the first ones will sell out.
Right.
But we're going to try to bleed through our inventory as fast as we can. And all of our purchasing and everything coming in right now is this new product.
Wow.
Danny, I have a question for you. So I know you guys are like so I know you're testing movement, right? So you have the kind of robot open and closing that thing a million times. Do you guys also test for like the hinges getting hot, cold, wet, dry, hot, cold, wet, dry? Because that's a shower. They get hot and cold. Does the metal, does that like shower environment in combination with the movement ever have an effect, or is it just the movement?
We're testing the movement, and that's not going to have an effect on it. But the big thing that we're testing is its ability to hold the hinge in place for 100,000 cycles.
Yeah, I mean, certainly hot and cold factors may come into play, and they are 100% in play in a shower. But also, somebody doesn't open and close the shower a million times in 3 months. I mean, you have to make certain, you have to make modifications. So we can test what we can test. But the idea of doing it in a wet environment, that's actually a valid idea. But then you have to do it like it would be done, which is you can't make it cold all the time or hot all the time. It has to vary in small amounts, and that just gets a lot more involved. And I'm not sure that it really needs that testing. You know what I mean?
Like, I don't think it's ever been.
I've just found like we've always had the most trouble with steam units, right? And I always just say it's just, and they're always getting the hottest, and they're always getting the wettest, and staying the wettest the longest, and then drying, and then getting room temperature again, and then getting hot again. So I always wondered, is it just the movement, or is it does the environment itself and the heat, the humidity, the temperature?
Are you talking about the function of the hinge or the finish?
The function, like, well, the slipping, the everything, you know what I mean? Because as metal expands and contracts over time, does that also have an effect on it on top of just movement?
Well, I'm sure that there's a related effect to it, but the question is how much is that effect? Because like you said yourself, it primarily occurs on steamers when you get the most moisture, the most of that. I would like to think that it's not going to be much of a contributing factor. But it's a valid question, and the answer is we have not tested it in that manner at this point. But hey, we got a wide world ahead of us, and we're always looking for things to do and be a little bit better. So
correct, but the finish is tested.
Well, yeah, the
under
finish
those
is salt spray, but he's not
circumstances.
talking about the operation of it at this point.
Slip,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I was
and
talking
by
about
the
the
way,
slipping and everything. That's what that
right.
was.
And speaking of finish, we now have a 15-year warranty on our hinges for both operation and finish. Just so you know, that was a nice way to crowbar that in there.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So all your hinges, also clamps, like your regular 2x2 clamps, are going to have this gasket as well?
No.
And the sleeve overs? Okay, no?
Maybe I didn't say that quite right. They're going to have the same gaskets they have, but they're going to be glued in place. So, but they won't be recessed into it. They'll just be surface glued in place.
Okay.
Hope that clarifies it.
Thank you. That does. Thank you.
Yes.
Excellent.
Have you guys tested? So another component to the hinge application is the actual cutout itself. What kind of tolerance should we be allowing our vendors to have when it comes to the cutouts, other than the fact that, hey, it's not deep enough or it's not big enough? Like, what kind of surface area does it need in order for that hinge to work properly and have the amount of grip that it needs?
Well, I mean, I'm going to say that the template that's been drawn for it is the optimum template that would give you the most amount of surface area, yet also give you some amount of adjustment as well to be able to move it up, down, a little bit left to right. I think it's when people start, well, I'm going to do the 3/4 hole instead of the 5/8. Well, I don't see that as being that much of a deal. It's a 1/16 of an inch that you're removing because, half the hole's not showing really. That's not the worst thing in the world. It's when people really change it. If the notch is supposed to be 3 inches and they go, well, I'm going to do it 3 1/4. I want to make sure I have plenty of room. No, we wouldn't recommend anything like that. I'm always going to say do what's on the template itself.
So maybe essentially like they have. I was going to say they typically have like a plus or minus 1/8 of an inch. So maybe the hinge cutout kind of holds to that standard too,
well,
more or less.
Plus or minus 1/8 of an inch, I think, is excessive, and that's usually in the overall size of the glass. I mean, if they're saying you can't do a notch template deep, the correct depth every time, that's a little bit suspect right there, as far as I can tell.
Well, that's pretty much the standard tolerance in the glass industry. If you talk to your temperer and say, well, this was off a 1/16 of an inch or an eighth, he's going to say that's an industry standard. Danny, in the past, we used to have a little patch that we did for some customers that you could use to test the cutout.
Oh, right. There was you can make a jig basically, that is, or use just a hinge itself to be able to evaluate the size of the cutout. But I don't find that that's something that or maybe I just don't hear about it. I don't know that that's a big thing that comes up a lot. I don't know.
Right. Well, but if you're doing a large project or something like that, you might want to do that. So when your glass comes in, you have a little, go, no-go fixture that you could, put into the cutout. Because with large runs like that, you're going to probably run into a lot of different tolerances.
Yeah, that's true.
I actually made one at one time.
So,
I made one to do that.
Oh, okay. Oh. Yeah, you just put it right up to the side of the glass and it just tells you exactly.
I just took an aluminum plate and drilled some holes and put a couple pieces of copper tubing in it.
Yeah. I mean, you could actually just take one of these templates, one of these printed templates, and laminate it basically and just hold it up there and you'd see.
Oh, that's another way. Right. Just use
it. It's back in the day when they hand cut everything.
Yeah.
Did any of the weight ratings change?
They didn't have water jets and all that stuff.
No, we are testing to the max, but we aren't exceeding the max. Not at this time. We want to get everything tested and squared away the way it is. Then we can start thinking about, okay, well, let's push the limit. I mean, how much more can we do? That kind of thing. I'm interested in that as well.
I don't know if you already covered it, and maybe I missed it, but like price point wise, compared to what you guys are selling now, the old style gasket versus the new?
Same price.
Same price.
Nothing changed. Except the fact that we greatly lowered our prices at the beginning of January, and it's been crazy because people notice. They really
people are definitely noticing.
People notice that.
Well, like I said, we haven't been sitting on our hands. We're getting prepared for whatever economy we're faced with here in the next few months.
Hey, one thing I noticed when we were looking at the actual photo of the hinge itself and the screws, it looked like the screws were just Phillips head screws. I didn't see any Allen head screws.
Mhm.
Do you guys need, I mean, do you still provide those, or are those just unnecessary now?
We 100% provide two sets of screws, Allen screws and Phillips screws, 3/8 glass, half-inch glass. So you'll have three packages in there. The screws that'll be packed with every hinge are 3/8 Phillips. The ones that are in the box separately, they'll be there. You go. If you well, I can't quite see what that says, but the ones that are in the box separately will be the for half-inch glass and the 3/8 Allen screws. So yeah, we are still giving that option to our users because that goes right down the middle. If you do a poll right now, 10 are going to say one way and 10 are going to say the other one. It's as simple as that. And both of them will say, "I can't see how you use the other one." So I
Two things. Sorry. Two things. One, thank you, because I know you guys didn't have to just lower your prices. It was very aggressive and it was noticed. And so thank you. And secondly, can you elaborate on the steps you're taking to protect yourself from the diversification you're doing, either with different countries or different factories or different plants? I don't know how much you can elaborate on that. That gives you a little bit more reliability and stability on pricing.
Well, the big thing that we've done, like I said, is lowered everyone's costs right across the board, including ours. So like I said, I think we're in the best position to be able to absorb whatever's going to be coming. We have a large inventory. If tariffs go up or down in, the same week or the same month, it probably is not going to affect us as much as it might other people. But we don't have a crystal ball. And I always say I didn't take enough economics classes when I was in school to be able to figure all this stuff out. But we think we're in a good position. We're very flexible. We actually have some people outside the country right now that are doing some more searching and communication with our supply chain. So, we want you to know that we're paying very close attention to this, and we're taking whatever steps we can to make the impact on us and the whole industry as easy as possible.
Thank you.
Well,
Morgan had a question about the quoting. Can you easily combine quotes, or do multiple quotes get added to a cart in one day if you want to ship as much as possible together?
That's actually a very good question. I'll answer it this way. You can make multiple structures in the same shower. Like if you remember when we were on the program there, it had that add shower button. Well, when you're in the middle of making these showers, you keep hitting add shower, add shower. You can put 3, 4, 5 showers all for the same job, all on one quote. So you're not having to do one for each structure the way, some other things are. But I will say this though, when you add it to your cart, it doesn't stay in your cart. If you add another job to the cart, it pushes it out. So when you add it to your cart, you want to finish it at that point, or gather everything together and just enter it manually. Or again, if you're making five showers in one house or 3 showers in one house, you can put all those together, one quote, one order, boom, do it that way. But no, it doesn't hang on to the order in your cart and then allow you to pile on top of it. That's something we're looking at. Believe me, that was one of the first questions I had.
Good questions, man. Good questions.
What part of the Midwest do you live in, Kevin?
Kevin, are you muted?
That was just a question that popped up on my screen.
No.
Indiana. Well, we're not looking at Indiana tomorrow, but we are continuing to look at expansion. Like I said, we opened up a place late last year in Dallas, and we're going to continue to look to expand our locations around the country.
Right.
Alrighty.
Well, I don't think it's out of turn to say that the next place we're looking is near the Northeast. That just from a geographic point of view, it just makes a lot of sense. So, but we're scoping, and we're not, as you can tell, we're not a company who just sits still. We are constantly expanding, growing. putting back into the company.
Okay.
What are you guys seeing on the gold front? Satin brass and brushed bronze, or are you seeing anything else that would have you make you stock it?
I love that question, and I will tell you why I like that question. I have been in this end of the business for about 25 plus years. I was an installer for 10 years before that. But in all that time, when I first went to the other three-letter company all those years ago in 1997, all the finishes that we have now were there. And in that time, in that 25 years, I've only seen two finishes that have come along that actually stuck and actually became finishes that are now part of everyday life, which is brushed bronze and matte black. Everything else, your chrome, your satin chrome, your brushed nickel, oil rub bronze, polished nickel, satin brass, those were all around 25, 30 years ago. So new finishes, I got to see a lot more use before I'm going to invest in making all my parts in a new finish.
And that's a huge thing, is having all of your parts available, all the finishes. I mean, I can't stress this enough. I've never seen anybody else pull that off besides FHC.
Well,
everybody has something that's not available in some finish, and that's super important, because it's so frustrating when you're putting together a bunch of showers and it's like, oh man, that one part is not available in this one finish. I hate that.
right. Well, that's something we
Be well
really
with that, guys.
we really understand, and that's one of Danny's main jobs. But we've always been sensitive because we understand the industry. We're not just buying. We don't just have a purchasing agent that goes out and buys product for the price or whatever. We understand the header has to match the hinges have to match the U channel, and all the different parts and pieces. You can't send out two hinges without a handle or without seals. Everything has to be done correctly. So that's one of the things we say, we're not afraid of inventory. We're not afraid of inventory. But that also is one of the issues when it comes to some of these new finishes that pop up. They're more of what my wife used to call a fad. Don't buy those lime green jeans. It's a fad. And next year, you're going to stick out too much. But if we do bring in a color or whatever, or finish, we're going to make sure that we have the whole product and we have everything that goes with it. It's nice to say, oh, here's a new hinge I just showed you. And then you call your factory to order it. And they say, well, we have the hinge. We don't have handles. We don't have channels. We don't have clips and everything else to go with it.
Yeah, it becomes useless.
No doubt. Hey, so somebody's on the call or just like listening later, and they think, oh man, I wish I could have asked this question. I just didn't think about it at the time. How easy is it for people to get in touch with you guys to ask you a question?
Danny?
Well, yeah, it's about as easy as you would imagine. My email address is my name and my company. It's Danny at fhc-usa.com. And Paul's is the same, Paul at fhc-usa.com. We're very accessible. We're available by phone 5 days a week, 10 hours a day. And, we talk to anyone and everyone. That's our job. That's our job, to talk to people. So I embrace it. Give us a call. I'd love to speak with anyone.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Any last thoughts before we go? It's your big chance.
Well, I mean, on my end, I would just say thank you so much for, listening with us, listening to us today and spending this time with us. And hopefully we showed you some nice new things you're going to like. We're really trying to make a difference in the business here. And, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, I also want to thank everybody for letting us spend a few minutes with you guys, and hope that you'll take advantage of some of the things that FHC has to offer. We certainly appreciate the support we've been getting from the industry, and we're trying hard to, like I said, be the service people to the industry as far as technical support, having inventory, short lead times, and really be able to communicate to our customers. And, we're investing a lot of money in training programs for the industry. We have a lot of different training that we have available. Just trying to get this to work. We have, webinars that Danny and I do. We have them in all sorts of different things. And also, I'm going to go to the homepage here on our website, if you scroll down here, there's a little button that says FHC University. I don't think a lot of people are aware of it. And if you want to go there, we can do continuing education. We do AAA presentations for architects as well as for our installers. We give out certificates of completion to everybody so they can report that to their different training areas. We're also directly associated with the National Glass Association and all their documents, as well as all their manuals right from our website. And if you click on Demand Education, I don't know if this is going to show up. Tell me if it pops up or not.
Oh, looks good.
Okay. Right here, can you see the webinars listed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, all the different webinars and training that we've done in the past, whether it's Danny and myself in showers, heavy glass doors, handrails, our InstaQuote program, as well as right now we're featuring the last webinar that we did on the shower design program. If you just click on it, you can watch it like a video. You can stop it, fast forward it, send it to other people in your organization. If you have a new person that comes in and you want to show them this, we have past webinars where Danny has done presentations on, let's see, where's your last one here, Danny? There he is here. We have a whole series on installation tips and things like that that you can review and show your employees. A lot of our employees are all looking for ways they can make themselves better. Sometimes you can give them some kind of a deal. If you watch 3 of these videos and show me the certificates of completion, you'll get something or what have you. And a lot of employees like to be able to grow in the business and make themselves more valuable. So this is something our educational, we invest a lot in it and make it available to the industry at no cost.
Great stuff. Awesome. Hey, thanks you guys. Danny Donahue, Paul Daniels, Brainless Hardware Company. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Great information. Thank
you very much as well. And the more support we get, the faster we can build those branches around the country.
We'll do what we can. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight.